Hello, welcome back to the Future Abroad series. So far, we have discussed on how to select a study destination and looked at various factors in order to help you converge to your decision of selecting a country to study in. Similarly, we also spoke previously about how to select a course and the factors enabling you to achieve your career aspirations. Today, we would like to talk about the very key aspect of finances. It is imperative that you plan your finances well in advance in order to make your dream of studying abroad a success. Finances can be broken into two aspects, cost and funding. Let's look at cost. The major cost of studying abroad involve the tuition fees for the course that you would like to study and the living expenses for the duration of the course that you would be going for. For example, if you plan to study a 3-year course, you must have the necessary funds for 3 years of tuition plus 3 years of living. In order to better understand this, let's work with certain example numbers. For example, your yearly tuition fee is $20,000 and your living expenses is $10,000. Then you must have $30,000 each year in order to fund your studies. And these numbers can be further broken down into accommodation, food, transport, books, other supplies, and other ancillary expenses. In addition to this, there is a cost associated with arriving in your study destination. So you will have to apply for your visa, there are going to be costs associated with that. You must apply for the necessary health insurance for the country of study, and there will be costs associated with ticketing and arriving in your study destination. Now these costs are essentially fixed because you must spend this amount in order to sustain yourself for the duration of your course. Let's now look at funding on how to effectively pay for these costs. So the most obvious option is scholarships. And if you plan strategically, if you do your market research, then you will find that there are certain universities who, in order to be competitive within the large pool of universities out there, will offer very attractive scholarships in order to make your study possibility affordable. Moreover, major destinations will also provide incentives to students in terms of part-time work opportunities, which essentially pay enough in order for you to take care of your living expenses. So if you look at this from a macro perspective, then you are effectively able to take care of your living expenses through part-time work opportunities and have to essentially focus on planning your finances for your tuition fee. If you look at this particular aspect in the long-term perspective, then even tuition fees is something that you can take care of eventually, because some study destinations will give you the opportunity to stay back for a few years and work in various capacities, which enables you to earn sufficiently in order to pay back the tuition fees that you have invested in your study. So if you are really keen to make this affordable, make this viable, you must plan for the long term and you must plan this well in advance. Another aspect that you would also need to be mindful of is the upfront demonstration of proof of funds. So when you select any study destination, when it is time for you to apply for the student visa, you will have to demonstrate necessary funds to the Home Office that you are able to fund your studies and have sufficient funds for living as well. For example, if you are planning to go study in the UK, you must demonstrate that you have necessary funds for your first year of studies, meaning tuition fees for the first year, and you have sufficient funds in order to sustain your living expenses for the first year. These amounts need to be demonstrated as part of a bank statement of the relevant people as mandated by the Home Office of the UK. And if you're able to provide that, then you are able to smoothly move to your study destination. So it is very important that you take all of this into account. A final word on finances is that it is very important to know the numbers well in advance, even before you study. More times than not, you may be misled that you will be able to take care of certain costs. However, after arriving at your study destination, you are unable to do so, which can lead to a lot of stress and anxiety. So it is very important to talk to someone who has been there, who has the necessary expertise to help you identify the cost in advance, and is able to tell you exactly on how you will be able to manage your finances or not able to manage your finances. Hope this was informative. We plan to now talk about how to effectively now get down to making an application and ensuring that we have all the necessary paperwork in place. Thank you.